Hello and welcome to everyone across the nation joining today's workshop on adding enrollments. This is Martha Perez with the CASAS Technology Support Team, and I will be presenting today's workshop. This workshop focuses on how to enroll students in classes. This function is only available with enhanced access. In other words, a TE license or collective agreement with CASAS is required. Class enrollments may be added by the TE Enhanced user at your agency or data manager or teachers granted access to manage their own classes. This is one of 23 complimentary CASAS Online Implementation Basics workshops. We highly recommend attending as many workshops possible to learn about best practices and ask questions to become confident in using the online system. Online help is available on our website from Training and Support, eTest Online Help, and TOPS Pro Enterprise. You will want to be sure and bookmark these as your electronic go-to resources. Electronic resources are updated periodically, so going to them will help to ensure you are receiving the most current information. Information for today's workshop comes from TOPS Pro Enterprise Help, Class Student Personnel Information, Class Information, and download the Adding Students to Classes document. All right. Before we get started, I want to be sure and point out where you will find access to CASAS eTest Online and TOPS Pro Enterprise Online. Please notice the URLs I just pasted in the chat box. It's right here. At top left of the web browser is the main domain name address you will use when your agency is set up with an online database. This is commonly referred to as the production server, where live data is produced. For today's workshop, we will be using a simulation server for a fictional school called Rolling Hills Adult School. Now, this simulation server is populated with fictional data to give you a realistic training experience. This is available to anyone wanting to experiment and explore our online system without risk of compromising live data. Now, you will find information on how to access the simulation server from Training and Support, eTest Online Help, Getting Started, and download the simulation server document. Right? Well, let's begin, and please feel free to ask questions along the way. Okay. Now, the CASAS online system offers two methods for adding class enrollment records in your online database. With TOPS Pro Enterprise, through manual data entry or import from a third-party system or fillable template or import template. Now, to access TOPS Pro Enterprise for the first time on a local computer, click the TE Client link or Install at top left of the web browser window. A client application will install in the local computer to connect with the online server. Now, a shortcut icon is automatically placed on the computer desktop. If you are a user who will be accessing or who access TE frequently, you may want to pin the shortcut icon to your taskbar along the bottom of your computer monitor for quick access. When other applications are open on your screen, you can access TE really quick. Now, TE opens to a login screen similar to eTests, except that you need to specify the server from the drop-down menu. We will be connecting to the simulation server. Now, the simulation server has generic accounts for administrator, coordinator, proctor, and teacher login so that you may experience different types of user access. Coordinators and proctors do not automatically have access to TE. Now, access to TE may be granted by the agency to anyone with or without coordinator or proctor certification. Now, users enter the same login credentials to access either eTests or TE because there is only one database shared between both applications. Now, after entering login credentials, such as administrator23 at rhas.org, and for password, I am going to type the word admin, all lowercase, click Connect. This is to establish connection to your online database. Now, TE opens to an empty screen. All data and reports are displayed from accessing menus along the top left. At top right, it displays the logged on user, application version, and general control settings. All user activity is tracked and recorded in the online system, so it is important not to share login credentials. Now, the recommended approach for manually adding class enrollments is from the organization menu, select classes, class instances. Now, a list opens to display class instance records for the current program year. By default, the list is sorted by class ID and then by extended ID. Now, to add a new class enrollment record, first filter for the class. For example, click on the filter icon in the class ID column and then enter your class. In this case, I'm entering 1003 and then click OK. From the filtered list, double-click on the ABE Beginning Literacy, and this is for fall. A new tab opens in the split screen with the navigator at left and the class instance information or record at right. Now from Navigator at left, click Class Enrollments. To add a new class enrollment record, click New at right. A new tab opens to input class enrollment information in two distinct sections. Select Student in Program Year and Status in Class. The benefit of using the navigator to add related records in that key fields auto-populate, saving time and ensuring accuracy. This is the recommended approach for manual data entry. As you will notice in this case, adding class enrollment records from the navigator of the class instance record auto-populated site, program year, class instance, and class start date. All that remains is to select the student to enroll in the class. Now from the student field, click the down arrow and either type to search, scroll to pick, or select from lister. From the list of students or student records, you may either sort, filter, or scroll to pick a student to enroll in the class. For example, the last name, we're going to click the last name filter icon, and we're going to enter Olmos, and then click OK. The student field, okay, now the filtered list now displays the student record for Ed Olmos. With the record highlighted at top left of the list, click Pick. Now the student field is now populated to enroll Ed Olmos in the class. By default, the date entered class populates with the class start date. Use the drop-down calendar to change this date if needed. From the toolbar, at top of New Class Enrollment Record, click Save. When the new class enrollment record is saved, class status is automatically switches from NA to active. Now click the red X box on the Class Enrollment tab to close a new record and return to the class instance record. The class enrollment record for Almost is listed at right of the class instance record. Now the class enrollment record for Almost is listed at right. Okay. You may pick one student at a time to enroll in the class as demonstrated with enrolling Almost, or use a new feature that allows you to enroll more than one student at a time. For example, click New at Right from the class enrollments list. From the student field, we're going to click the down arrow and select from Lister. From the list of students, we're going to highlight a student. First, we're going to click the arrow sign on the first name column. This will alphabetize our list of students. So now I'm going to click on one student and then select at random other students by holding the Control key and clicking on the name. So this highlights the other students. With multiple students highlighted in the list, 4 in all, at far right in the toolbar at top of the list of students, click More. Then, from More buttons available, click Miscellaneous. Then, Batch Insert. And then, Students in Classes, or Student in Class. A batch insert window displays. Now from the class field, we're going to click the down arrow. Okay. Now from the drop-down menu, we're going to select our class, ABE Beginning Literacy. This auto-populates fields for program year, student start date, and which may be edited using the drop-down calendar as well, and class start and end dates. Click OK. Click Yes to confirm the batch insert. Now click OK to confirm inserted records. Now to return to the class instance record, we're going to click Cancel Pick since you added enrollments through the batch insert feature. Click the red X box on the Class Enrollment tab to close the new record since you already enrolled students. Click No since there is nothing to save on the new class enrollment record. Now this returns you to the class instance record. Now to see enrollments from using the batch insert feature at far right in the toolbar above the class enrollments list, click More. And then from More Available buttons, click Refresh. Okay, we're going to repeat that operation with the refresh button right here. There we go. Now class enrollments for all 5 students, 1 student picked, plus 4 students inserted, now displayed together in the list. To sort student records alphabetically by first name, click the name arrow icon. Click the red X box in the Class Instance tab to close the record and return to the Class Instances lister. Now, let's look at the second method for adding class enrollment records with importing. As mentioned at the beginning of this workshop, there are two sources for importing records coming from an external source: from a third-party system or populating an import template. There is only one way, however, to import this information. From the Tools menu, click Third-Party Import Wizard. The wizard opens to guide you with information displayed on each screen through the importing process. From the Introduction screen, click Next. From the New Import session, click Next. Now, TE allows several types of imported records to populate and update information in your online database. To import class enrollment records, select Student Class Status Records from a third-party system. And click Next. The most common file type of importing records is a comma-separated values file, or CSV. Now, to select the import file, we're going to click Browse. From the pop-up window, select a saved CSV file, one that was either exported from a third party or manually populated on an import template. Click Student Class Status Records 2050. Now, when the selected file displays in the file name field, click Next. The wizard is now ready to process the import data from the specified file. Now click Next. Messages you want displayed are: the content of the specified import file has been read successfully, all process records have been found to be valid. Now, importing student class status records automatically adds class enrollment records with class status. The student class status import may also be used to update a student's status in a class, such as recording the student as inactive or completed. Managing class enrollment is beneficial when generating reports to specify only students meeting a specified status. In other words, generate reports that only include students with an active enrollment status rather than including all students who have been enrolled in the class. Now click Next to continue. Even though all records in the import file are considered to be valid, some fields did not automatically auto-populate, such as student first, middle, and last names. And let me point you to those. As you can see, none of that information is populated. Now, at bottom of the Edit Records screen, click Load Existing Data. This will auto-populate missing student names. To confirm loading existing data, click Yes. Great. Now, notice by loading existing data, student first, middle, and last name fields are now populated with existing information. Click Next to continue. Records are now ready to import. Click Next to import these records. Now, when you see this message pop up on your screen, the entire data set successfully imported into your online database, click Finish. To verify class enrollment records manually recorded and imported for students enrolled in multiple classes, use the Child Lister feature. In the toolbar at far right of the Class Instances list, click More, and then from the More buttons available, click Child Lister. Now from the Child Lister Navigator at left, click Class Enrollments. With the ABE Beginning Literacy class highlighted at the top page, class enrollment records automatically display in the Child Lister page at the bottom. Now these are the ones we added manually and the 4 that we imported, or we used the batch insert feature. In the top page, click the red X box in the class ID column, this one, to remove the filter. On the top page, click the Extended ID filter icon and enter Fall, and then click OK. At the top page now displays all classes for fall. Now to view class enrollment records that were just imported, click Class 30004. Now this is being done in the top page, and view the imported class enrollment record below. Click Class 30006 in the top page and view the other imported class enrollment record in the Child Lister page at the bottom. Now, while the Child Lister is enabled, use the navigator to view other related records such as tests for students enrolled in classes. From the Child Lister Navigator at left, click Tests. With the ESL Advanced Fall class highlighted in the top page, test records for students enrolled in the class automatically display in the Child Lister page at the bottom. These may be records of tests taken at any site or in any class. Click Class 30004 in the top page and view the test record below. Click Class 10003 in the top page and view test records in the Child Lister page at the bottom. The other type of related record we could view with multiple class instances using the Child Lister is class records with instructional hours, which will be covered in the next workshop. As mentioned earlier, the benefit of using the navigator to add related records is that key fields auto-populate, saving time and ensuring accuracy. This is our recommended approach for manual data entry. Are there any questions about importing or manually adding class enrollment records in your online database? All right, folks, I will take that as a no. Now, we can provide you with a folder of fillable templates. Let's see here. These are fillable templates to help you populate your online database without using manual data entry or a third-party system. Now, such as the one used for today's demonstration to import student class status records. Let me show you this one. Okay. Now this first sheet provides detailed directions on how to, or with steps to populate the import template. steps to save the populated template as an importable file, steps to import these records, and steps to view and confirm imported records. The second sheet is a fillable template with sample data. Now, please reference the Exchanging Data with Third-Party Systems document included in the folder of import templates to identify the specified type of data to populate each column. Are there any questions or final questions, folks, before we wrap it up? And this is about adding class enrollments. All right, I will take that as a no. Now, to clear your screen, at far right, click Pages and select Close All Pages. If you're finished working in TE, at top left, click the TE icon and either lock your screen if you plan to return and continue working, otherwise disconnect from the server. And then exit the application by clicking TE again and exit. Now, each workshop in a set of CASAS Online Implementation Basics builds on the last in a logical progression for helping you to get up and running with the online system. If you missed a workshop, we posted a playlist from past recordings on our website so that you may review a previously attended workshop or preview upcoming workshops. You may access them from Training and Support, eTest Online Help, Workshop Recordings, CASAS Online Implementation Basics. Okay. And access them and others from our social media newsroom on the CASAS YouTube channel. Okay. Now, folks, please note the information I just pasted in the chat box about our technology support team. The support team is available to provide any technical assistance you may need to ensure successful implementation. This email address alerts a support team that includes several members. Communicating to the larger group will help us to ensure you receive a timely response. Team members are available from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time, Monday through Friday. We look forward to you joining us for the next workshop on adding instructional hours. Thank you for your time, and this concludes the workshop on adding class enrollments in your online database. Thank you.